Hello and welcome to today's Where's the Trade. My name is Joshua Bellinger of OptionSizzle.com, and today we're going to look at National Oilwell Varco, NOV. And the option activity today, the overall volume was about 3.5 times its normal 22-day average. So the thing that we want to look down and kind of start to piece together is where most of the option activity occurred. And if we look into the May contract, you see here the strike that was in focus were the May 85 contracts, and you see down the strike ladder as well we have interest in calls or volume traded from the 70 all the way to the 85. Now we want to look at where prices are at, and the prices are at $68. So these are pretty far out of the money. They have a delta of about 8, and they have about 99 days to expiration. So we want to look to see if we have some other contracts seeing interest, and we see that the 8250s and the 90s traded as well, likely a spread. And then we just want to scroll down to the statistics here. So we can see that calls outpaced puts, and the majority, 55% of them, traded on the ask or above. So now what we want to do is kind of piece together the puzzle and what possibly could they be looking for, or looking to do. So volume that large is ones that I don't really like to get behind too much. I like to find the ones that are not as big as this. And the reason why is because I've talked about this in other videos, is that contracts that big, the biggest contract that traded here were the May 85 contracts, with a block of 9,000 traded on the offer that were bought at 23 cents. So with that, a lot of times the market maker, and this is not an order that they just put on their trading platform and say, hey, it's, this is what we want. They have to shop it around, and they have to find the other side of it. So it's really hard to see and know exactly what's going on because stock is traded with it. And if we look here, these are the top trades on StockWise that traded today, and I guarantee the ones that traded the ADFs were the ones that were tied to it. So again, we want to come back and see what would I be doing if I were placing this large of a trade. So we look at the chart here. In short term, we see that it's sold off. To me, it goes, well, why would you want to buy after the reaction of a 75 to 67 point move here? And you get a little bit of volume. So just looking at this, you don't really see too much. Now I do have some trend lines drawn here, and what I'm going to do is back it out on the 5-year time frame and zoom in on the weekly here. So the weekly looks a little bit different than the monthly, and being that they're coming after those contracts in May with 99 days to expiration, that makes a little bit more sense. Possibly they could be looking at this trend line higher here. However, emphasis on trend lines higher are not as important as lateral support and resistance levels. So these could be broken pretty easily, and you could see something probably come down to 65 or even 60 before it bounces. If you're looking to follow the activity, and this kind of activity usually, and if we look at the 1 day here, you could see during lunch here you get this spike higher, and this is due to CNBC and the pumps that occur on there, and them suggesting things that a lot of the public needs to know more about. So just because there's a big buyer, and this is where the conception gets misled, is that this is not all out bullish in many cases at times, because there could be a hedge or something else. However, looking to play it, one of the things that you would want to do is, if you wanted to follow these, it's a cheap shot to the upside. You have 99 days, and you have a pretty big move that needs to occur. If you look at the 85 level, I mean, we're looking all the way back into these levels here. So it's not out of reach, but it could, you could look to push higher. One of the other things that would be more intriguing to me would be setting up some kind of spread trade, a butterfly, and targeting somewhere of those levels and looking for something like this, where it's a cheaper debit. You have something that's closer to where prices are trading at, and you can play for that push higher.